Everybody, my name is Sam. I've been cleaning up litter for the last 4.5 years under the alias on Instagram of the Regrowth Project. Earlier today, we cleaned up bag of trash number 3,843. So obviously, it's something I take quite seriously to protect beautiful areas like this. I'm here in Delray Beach, Florida at Delray Oaks Natural Area or Natural Preserve or something like that. What I wanted to talk about today was the concept of litter blindness, which is, I don't know if that's a self-coined term or if that's a real thing, and we're walking under some beautiful Spanish moss here. Very cool. I like these trees a lot. But litter blindness, the fact that there's trash all over the place. There's an estimated 43 million pounds of litter on the ground in the US that crosses plastics, that crosses every conceivable form of litter you could think of, and another 37 million and change pounds of litter actually enter the ecosystem every year. Litter cleanup crews, gentlemen like myself, clean probably about 1/5 of that per year. So I guess we're clocking in at like 8-point-something million pounds. But the litter accumulates more rapidly because it comes from everywhere. And I guarantee there's some on your street. I know there's some in your city. This is 100% a thing everywhere that you go. There's going to be litter on the ground. But people don't see it. It's kind of insane. We're litter blind to it, right? You just live your normal life. You walk around. You do the things you normally do in a day. It's a little more difficult to notice that there is trash all over the place everywhere until you start picking it up. And then you see, oh my God, there's this plastic water bottle. There's this soda cup, there's this takeout container all over the place, no matter where I go. It's the most disgusting thing ever. People only seem to really notice incidences of, they call it fly tipping in the UK, fly tipping, right? But I think that's when somebody puts they leave like a mattress out there, or like major bags of garbage, like actual literal like full bags of garbage dumped. So like dumping, right? You notice that, but you don't notice these one-off pieces that just accumulate. I wouldn't be shocked to find some piece of litter out here as I'm taking a beautiful walk in the park, just because we're in an area that people live and this stuff shows up on the ground. And it's actually the worst thing ever. It degrades these environments. See, we're walking, there's like a parking lot back there. I guarantee around the edge of that parking lot there's a ton of litter, but it degrades our environments. The plastics, after a while, they break down. You hear the buzzword microplastics, but what a microplastic really is say you leave a plastic water bottle or like one of those Starbucks cups, the Starbucks cups. If it gets left out in the sun too long, it gets a little sun bleached and then it gets flaky. And then you pick it up and it's not that kind of firm Starbucks cup that's intended to hold your coffee. It flakes apart in your hands into smaller and smaller pieces. So even when I'm going to clean that stuff up, it flakes apart over time, and the little tiny bits get into the soil, and then they get into beautiful trees like these green oaks, these southern green oaks and whatnot. It's a true tremendous scourge on our environments. And I don't think anyone, again, notices the issue because they're litter blind. But I challenge you this. Take a nice walk. Go leave your house at some point today. Even if it's raining, well, you don't have to go if it's raining, but even if it's raining, get out there and just go on a half-a-mile walk from wherever you're at. Unless you're in the most high-maintenance HOA community that exists on the face of planet Earth, you're going to find litter. There's simply no... You could fill a whole grocery bag with it. In fact, kind of impressed with this park so far. I saw some stuff at the entrance, but I always carry a grocery bag with me while I'm walking because I know that these grocery bags, you can fill them. You can fill them like this, and it actually takes a very small amount of effort because the stuff is everywhere. I don't know. Nobody talks about it. It destroys our environment. Seagulls, this is a bad one. Oh, this is a cool little, look at this spot I'm looking up on. But seagulls will, among other birds presumably, will think that this stuff is food, and then they eat it, and then it sits in their stomachs, and it actually tricks them into thinking that they're full, and then they starve to death because they have a stomach full of plastic. It's horrible and heinous. Think of how bad of a way to die that is. And that's what's happening to creatures. It happens to seagulls, it happens to sea turtles, which are, I would say, on the power rankings, hierarchies of beautiful natural creatures we want to preserve. I think that sea turtles are better than seagulls. I had a seagull eat my sandwich one time on the beach. It stole it right out of my hand. So that seagull, definitely didn't starve to death. It was not experiencing this problem. But it's something that is terrible across environments, because sea turtles, they think that plastic, especially those clear plastic wrappers, like you get maybe a little with your food, plastic fork and knife and napkin inside one of those little plastic wrappers, they think that those are jellyfish. And a lot of sea turtles eat jellyfish. So they'll just eat those and they'll just be grubbing on plastic. It's terrible. The stuff is everywhere. Styrofoam is another form of plastic that can become microplastic very easily, because you've seen how styrofoam breaks down, especially when it's in those packaging kernels, that, it just breaks down into those little pieces. It's literally impossible to clean up all of that, even if you were trying. But it's everywhere. So I'm challenging the world to get rid of your litter blindness, get rid of your litter blind privilege, and actually, get out there and kind of appreciate the scope of the problem, but also appreciate what we can do about it. Because the good news is, if there's only 43 million pounds of litter on the ground in the US, then there's about 330 million people, we estimate. So you would have to pick up far less than 1 pound per person to actually fix the problem. And then the other kind of side of the solution is, let's get these plastics out of the supply chain. There's a lot of cool kind of biodegradable solutions that could be positive over time, but point remains, it's not actually an insurmountable problem. It's simply a problem that we have because it hasn't quite been properly addressed yet. Okay, so we're getting litter blind right here, or well, not litter blind, but I guarantee most people watching this video would miss this little fella on the ground right there, a little tiny napkin. And here's the play you can run, because I know nobody wants to touch gross napkins, but I'm going to show you my one secret trick is this. So take a leaf, any leaf. So I have it like this. This leaf is a little crisp. Look, it's got a good bend to it. Get in there, watch out for thorns. But boom, you haven't touched it, but you picked it up. You can just drop it in the handy dandy bag you carry around with you. Now you can go in here for part 2, get the other half of this napkin, and you have one piece of litter picked up, which is typically a little more disgusting. I don't trust napkins for obvious reasons. Who knows what goonery was going on with that napkin before. Much easier is to just go pick up a nice little piece of plastic, which you can find and reasonably pick, because hopefully nobody's ordering a soda. Like that one was a McDonald's soda lid, and then like licking the just like licking the top of it. That just doesn't seem reasonable to me. So that's exactly how you can make a difference. Get out there. I guarantee as soon as you start picking up garbage, you will notice A, the scope of the problem, B, how easy it is to handle, and C, just how much of it is absolutely everywhere. And I think the area I'm in is now impassable. I wanted to try to walk down towards that river basin, but alas, we have deep foliage and I don't want to cut through it, because a lot of plants and grasses are actually really easy to kill by just walking on them. They're not used to having humans walk on them, so it ends up being kind of an issue where that happens. Anyways, do yourself a favor and clean up more trash. It's kind of a crazy mission. Again, I've been doing it for 4.5 years, but that shows you just how easy it is, because I've been working a corporate job that entire time, and more than 9 to 5 hours. In fact, I don't think many 9 to 5s even exist nowadays, quote unquote, because every job I've ever had, I get to the office before 8 and I leave the office after definitely after 5, probably after 6 on the average day, and I still find time to go clean up litter. Just get outside, get the legs pumping, get in the sun, bring a grocery bag with you. I know you have 1,600 of these laying under your kitchen sink, so make it happen, baby. This is my gospel to you. Get outside and make the earth a more beautiful place. Spend time in nature, appreciate it, pull up Google Maps, and you can do it. Very simple. If everybody in America gets out there and cleans up less than a pound of trash, and a full bag of this is like 2.5 pounds, then you've done your job, baby. So that's the crusade. That is the Regrowth Project. This is Nature Guy Sam. If you like this content, please subscribe. I'll be getting out there to excellent parks, maybe near you, and cleaning up more garbage every single day, because that is exactly how it's done. So I'm gonna try to fill this. If I do fill a full bag, this is gonna be bag number 3,944. There we go.